Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. 3 months ago, I uploaded a video on my channel and I'll link it down below if you haven't watched it already, but it was pretty much about how I was feeling very lost in life. So yeah, if you haven't watched that video, go watch it so that this one will make more sense to you. So I'll link it down below. That was 3 months ago, and since then I've made quite a bit of progress with myself, so I thought I'd sit here today and talk to you about what to do when you are feeling lost. And I have a bunch of notes that I made in my little notebook here. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button down below. Comment down below if you have anything to say about this, but without further ado, let's get on with the video. I got my cup of coffee here so I can just kind of chill. Okay, so the first thing that really helped me was spending a lot of time with myself. A lot of the times that's the least thing that we want to do when you're feeling lost. It's like you just want to distract yourself with other things. You want to have fun and you want to be doing like fun things when you're like not feeling as good, but the most important thing is to be spending a lot of time with yourself. And the reason why that's so important is because you need to get to know who you are to figure out why you're feeling lost. I feel like as you go through life, you like pick up like people's expectations, you pick up like things that kind of, I don't want to say like mask who you really are, but you pretty much kind of like suppress the real version of you. And in order to figure out why you're feeling lost, you need to figure out what that real version of yourself is. And you have to be spending time with yourself so you can figure out what do you like, what do you not like what are you into, what are your passions, what do you enjoy doing, what are you feeling in certain moments when you're doing something, why do you feel that way. Like there needs to be a lot of analyzing that kind of goes on, and without being able to do that, without taking the time to analyze yourself and your thoughts and your feelings, you won't truly understand why you're feeling what you're feeling and why you feel lost. So the first thing you really need to do is spend time with yourself, and it needs to be like quality time filled with reflection and really try and understand where these feelings are coming from. I'm trying to explain like how I did it, and it's very hard to like explain. I don't know. You need to spend time on yourself because you need that time to reflect on who you are, who you want to be, what do you enjoy in life, what do you want your life to look like in, let's say, like 5 to 10 years, or you know, just in general. And that doesn't have to be like, oh, I need to be doing this job and I need to be like living here or things like that. I know like having to make those like specific references in your head can actually make you feel more anxious when you're already feeling lost. So you could just kind of think of it in general, like what kind of life do you see yourself living and enjoying? And you don't have to think about like, oh, I need to be working this job or anything like that, but just like if you have figured that out for yourself, and that's great. Yeah, just focus on like, what do you want your life to look like? Like, what do you want from life? What are your passions? What are your dreams? What are your talents? And you're not going to discover any of this if you focus all your time on distracting yourself and like surrounding yourself with other people and other things. So you really need to be by yourself. And I'm not saying like 100% of the time, but like you do need to be spending like quality time with yourself so you can really figure out like everything that's hidden inside. The second thing that really helped me and is still helping me, I still continue to do this, is keeping a journal. And I know like you've probably heard this like a million times, but keeping a journal is so important. And it's important that you don't just write down like your negative experiences, and that you focus on writing down things like your realizations and your epiphanies and like maybe like something that happened, like the way it made you feel. And for me, that was a tough learning curve, because when I journaled, what I would do is I would write down about negative experiences. It was just a collection of bad experiences, and that's not really like what journaling is. So what I try to do is, if I can't like get to my journal to like write down something that I'm like realizing in the moment, I just jot it down in like my phone notes, like in the app, or on my laptop. So that way it's like more kind of flowing for me. Like I could be standing at like Subway waiting for my sandwich, and it's like I'm thinking about something and I'm like, oh my god, and I'll just like quickly jot it down on my phone. So there's like so many different ways of journaling. It doesn't just have to be like you sitting on your bed writing down in a notebook. If that's not what works for you, you could also try like video journaling. It really depends on what works for you. Coffee break. So it's important that when you journal, or when you like write down what you're feeling, your epiphanies, your realizations, which is like a lot of what I do, try to incorporate details. So I like to include like what I'm feeling and what happened before that led to that feeling, and like why I'm feeling that way. So it's not like too analytical, but at the same time it's like I am kind of like dissecting the situation, because as you start to journal more and more, you kind of start noticing like a pattern with your thoughts. Like, and that's what happened with me. Like there were certain situations and like just like life that would like make me feel a certain way, and for like years I was kind of like, oh no, that's not it, like that can't be it, you know, I'm into this, like no, that's not me, it's not for me. But as I like started writing things down and like analyzing why I was feeling a certain way and like what made me feel that way, and like noticing the patterns, it started to make a lot more sense to me. And it takes time to be able to do that and be able to like dissect your thoughts. But the first step that you could take is just writing things down, so at least it's there for you to look at and for you to think about. Because I mean, there's like a million thoughts that go through our head throughout the day. So you might feel something one moment and then poof, like before you know it, the thought's already gone. So write it down so you have it there to think about, to analyze, and to really reflect on. The reason why I say like I write down like what led to the moment in which I felt a certain way is because like sometimes it's helpful when you want to remind yourself why you felt that way and why that epiphany is important to you, and what it means to you. Sorry, I'm looking at my notebook because it's so hard to like remember everything I want to say, but this is like, I really want to say these things. So yeah, so like why is it important to you that you felt that way? Our thoughts are so important. Like they tell you a lot. Like life is always kind of like bringing out different sides of you, and you're always feeling different emotions and realizing different things. And since there's just so much that comes at you like every single second of your day, you need to have like different reference points if you are working on like figuring out like why you're feeling a certain way in certain situations. If you don't like writing things down or typing things out, another great way that might sound like crazy to you, but another great way to kind of put your thoughts out there and kind of make them more clear is to talk to yourself. And I know this sounds crazy, but like sometimes it's like I just need to say it out loud in order to like see it out there and be like, okay. And it's the same as like talking to another person, but if you don't want to talk to someone else about it, talk to yourself. Do it in the shower, okay? Nobody's gonna find out, but whatever you need to do to understand your thoughts better, do it. My third tip is to engage in things that you enjoy. So these could be like hobbies, like anything that you find fun. I don't know, video games, or maybe you enjoy reading or filming. I feel like we realize a lot about ourselves in the moments that we are at peace and kind of trying not to think. Does that make sense? It's important to have those moments of peace and fun, because sometimes those are the moments in which like an idea clicks in our head. And that actually happens to me a lot, which is why I said like even if I'm like standing waiting for my coffee or something, if I think of something, I will like jot it down on my phone, because it's like in those random moments sometimes that you get like the most important ideas, or like just the most important realizations. And that's why like people always say like the best ideas come in the shower, is because when we're in the shower, you know, our mind kind of wanders, and it's a different environment. Because when you're feeling lost, you spend a lot of time just going like, oh my god, I need to figure out what I want to do with my life, and you're so actively engaged in like figuring out what you want to do in life and like figuring everything out, that you need moments where you're not doing that at all, and you're at ease and you're having fun, so that you let your mind rest. Because if your mind is rested, then you'll have a more fresh perspective on things. And I kid you not, like a lot of the thoughts that have led me to make progress from the time that I uploaded that video, they came at a moment of peace. Those epiphanies and realizations came to me in moments where I felt at peace and I was just like calm or doing something fun. So it's really important to engage in things that you enjoy. Another reason why it's important to engage in things that you enjoy is because you learn a lot about yourself, and in that you might pick up things that could help you in making a career choice. Like, it doesn't always have to be that way. Like, you know, it's not like just because you enjoy video games you want to become like a video game programmer or anything, but it's just like little things that overall, like when put together, they could help you in discovering who you are as a person and what you want from life. The fourth thing that is also very important is spending quality time with your friends and family. For me, that was very difficult because I felt like I just wanted to like be by myself, and like, I don't know, like it was just like I just wanted to like be in my room because I felt like everybody else like had life figured out. And like I said in my other video, like I just felt useless. So I would just kind of like want to spend time in my room, like on my laptop or whatever. But that was not a good choice because I needed to get out. I needed to spend time with other people and gain like positive experiences. And sometimes like all you need to do is just ask for help. Like, and I am that person who feels like I need to figure out everything by myself, and I've always been that way. I've always been very independent, and I feel like I need to figure out everything by myself. But your friends and family, they care about you, they want to help you, so don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. And it's just important to spend quality time with like good quality people, because even while spending time with people, you learn a lot about yourself. You learn what kind of environments you enjoy being in, what kind of environments do you thrive in, and there's just so much that you could pick up from those experiences that you have when you're with other people. And as important as it is to be spending a lot of time with yourself, you still need to be getting out there and spending time with other people. Also, I feel like when you spend time with other people, you'll come to realize that you're not the only one who's feeling the way that you are. And that's not to say that like your situation isn't like difficult or that it's not a big deal or anything, but it's just that there's a lot of people who feel lost, but they don't talk about it, or you know, it's the whole thing where it's like not everybody has it all together, even if it seems that way. So when you spend time with other people and you have conversations with them and you form relationships, you'll realize that you're not the only one who feels the way that you do. And in a way, that's kind of comforting. Okay, I think I'm on my fifth tip, but I don't really know because I kind of lost count. But something that I have really been doing, not just like since I uploaded my last video, but like I feel like in this year in general, like 2019, I focused so much on listening to podcasts and reading books, and honestly they were very helpful. One of my favorite podcasts to listen to is On Purpose by Jay Shetty. It's nice to kind of hear other people's perspectives and just get like insight into other people's lives, and how like even though that this person might be successful, they still have a lot of problems that they deal with, and it kind of humbles you to hear people's stories. So yeah, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. He's not the only one that I listen to, but I think he's my favorite. Tony Robbins is another great one. Yeah, so whatever you want to listen to or read, just try to engage in it. And the way I do it is I listen to the podcast and I make notes. So I'll even show you something that I've listened to recently. Okay, so yeah. So the most recent one that I've listened to from Jay Shetty is the one that he did with Liza Koshy, and it was on becoming the person you should have been. And these are my notes from the podcast. So I don't know, I like writing things down because I feel like I get the pieces that relate to me or I find helpful or inspiring, and it's just a great way to learn and grow as a person. So, and another reason why I like listening to podcasts is like sometimes there's so much noise in your head that you can't really figure out like a clear idea of what it is that's going on in your mind, and it's not until someone else says it and you're like, that's what I'm feeling, like, and you feel like you completely relate to the person, and all of a sudden it's like you understand what it is that was going on in your mind. And the last thing that I want to say is just be patient. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to 100% understand yourself. That's like a lifelong journey, and it's just small steps and making progress and growing as a person. And thinking about it that way has made me feel calmer and more at ease, and just focus more on learning more about myself and reflecting more on myself rather than, you know, kind of panicking about the situation. So yeah, don't forget to breathe. Just breathe. Focus on staying calm. Excessive worrying is not going to help your situation, and that's coming from someone who worries a lot. I worry about every little thing, and it's just something that I need to work on, and I continue to work on. But yeah, I like to tell myself that excessive worrying is not going to improve the situation. It's not going to help the situation. It's not helping me figure out anything. So I mean, the most that I can do is just work on myself. That's the best way that I can progress in any situation. And so yeah, I think that's all. I hope you enjoyed my tips on what to do when you're feeling lost. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!